Mhm. And again, I have to share that. Okay. So yeah, they have a long list regarding the negativities, and mainly negativities are our inner negative emotions are, right? This is the main one. As well as we can control our negative emotion, then it will not affect anything from outside, external enemy, right? So we having more external enemy because of we cannot control our inner ones. So, but both are disturbing us. But as we'll need less affections or less negativity will be the better. You choose the some kind of solitary place or stay away from that negative persons, and then only the one negativity there which you can control easier and better. So which is our mental reflections, right? So that's the sober state. And then after a long list, and say in brief, he who hinders your path to the temporary and ultimate well-beings, whoever such a person may be, know that he is a negative friends and forsake him. In generally, anything that it disturb to you to change yourself into better, or anything that influence you to bad things, then that you consider as a negative person. But I just remind you, we're thinking them as a negative person, but it's not conflict with holding the object of compassion. We continuously should hold them as a object of compassion, let them keep generate compassion to them, but while doing that, you should stay away from them to be becoming stronger and better. It's not just forever ignoring them, right? So that kind of meaning here. So therefore, that we know that usually we're looking the good environments. And then what good environments you're looking actually? We are most of the time we are not looking how I can change better, how I can learn better. We're not looking at that kind of environment. We're looking where I can get a more peaceful, where the more friends are spirituality or who are calm, and that's kind of things. And then our goal is just looking that peace place. Therefore, we're looking many different group. Oh, this group, someone difficulty. I'm not joining this group. I'm going to join another group, right? Then when you found another group, the another group have a same someone there, always someone there, right? Some difficulty person. And then when you see some difficulty person, it's affected your emotion. Then you might decide it again. Oh yeah, I have to leave this group again. I'm searching another group. We keep searching the group and environment, just looking the peaceful, and then which is not affected your emotion and something, right? But that place you will not find it wherever you go. Always some difficulty there. So, but you might find some are less, very much less person there who is negativity or more spirituality and calm. So, but we should look the group or environment, what we can learn better for me to change, not that they help me to change, that I have to change, right? So, but at least they're not disturbed me, that's all. They're not really help me to change, they're not disturbing me to change better. So that kind of environment you have to look at, and where you can learn better, where you can inspire better, and then one of two, you see the difficulty, you should ignore it. Otherwise, there are no place that always, actually we wish, right? Every being should be compassionate in this world. That's our wish, but it's not happening. It's not actually, wherever we go, you're not finding that. So that's all the point talking. So stay away from negativity, and while you are controlling your own negativities, you must do that. If we not do the control our own negativities or not transform into something better emotion, then wherever you go, wherever you live, the suffering is there. So this is the point above. So now in the root text say, and rely on a spiritual friend, and then engage our holy teachers. The spiritual friend is considered here as a teacher or inspiration or instructions, that's kind of things. Rely on the spiritual, right? But here again, the spiritual friends, or whether you call instructor or spiritual friends, who are the external spiritual friends and instructor is not help you to exactly change again, right? Even you rely on it. So, but there are many philosophers and many Buddhist masters saying, I can inspire you, I can let you know what it is, what are the path. But you have to engage it, you have to work it, you have to change it. This is how it goes. It means actual teacher is our own self. My own self is my own actual teacher, right? So you might remember, or some might be not. So what Buddha said is, you are your protector, and you are your inspirations, and you are your enemy too, right? It's very much depend on how you use it and how you control it. So therefore, as we know that myself is just my protector, no one else. So then what this really means, if you keep continuous follow the moral ethics or some kind of kind and compassion, then it's actual protect to us, right? So this is the actual protections. Your quality or your knowledge are the actual protections. Your strength and your power is actual protector. So, and then external teacher is just let you know what is the good path, right? That's all the point. So even right now here talking about the external teacher or external spiritual friends, I still that we should remember that actual my own teacher is myself, right? This is the very important. But being myself as becoming myself teacher or my protector, but it's sometimes it's depend on external teacher, because we need the knowledge. We need what call understand the right path to how can change myself. So that's depend on external, and then after that everything depend on myself and our own self. So so they're here talking, it is depend on external teacher, therefore who should you rely on, that's talking here. And I'm not reading every single line, I can skip. This is the collection of positive negative friends. Excellent. Okay, here. So he said, if it benefit heart is, and like that's how I'm reading from here. Okay. So actually, yeah, if it benefit the heart its end instructions, and who puts it into practice is a suitable results. So ourselves becoming suitable result or not suitable result means like a better continuous. Better continuous means who can absorbing better attention better, right? Now, when we learn or when we do practice, that kind of things, suitable things. And actually, spiritual teacher is talking from here. He who reveal will the qualities of liberation, right? And he who reveal will the defect of circle existence, and he who reveal norms of affirmations and rejections. He is the spiritual friend, so rely upon him. So as we are here not really thinking about liberation, but at least we are thinking free from suffering in this lifetime, right? Even not the nirvana. So, but still, we need to some kind of spiritual teacher who can instruct us to perfect path to how can gain my own happiness in this lifetime, right? So, and then he say here next say he who revealed will the defeat of circle existence. Circle existence again is termed the Buddhist. You can take us here the circle existence means my life, our life, my families, right? So yeah, that part is difficult actually. Defect of circle existence. In Tibetan, say, Kowe Nyimi Grabtutun, who shows you the exactly circle existence, who shows you the suffering, who tell you the exactly what is the faults. That is good actually. But for ourselves, it's very difficult to accepting it, right? So therefore, say better not talk suffering. It's making more suffering to me, right? Better not talk like bad things about me. Better not talk the what fault I have it, right? It's like insulting me. That's how we take it. Is it? I think it's different of culture. Where I grow up, if we, our master and then some of our friends telling us directly what we have a fault, you did this wrong. Well, most of people accept it. Really, I don't know that. How? We might have that question is without anger, right? So if we get exactly the answer or reason, oh yeah, then accepting it. Instead of taking insult, we're taking as inspirations, right? We're learning from it. So that's some kind of different culture, having some more easy to say this in where I grew up and more difficult to say here. And I think it's not the Tibetan community where I grew up, even like the entire Indian people. Sometimes we see the TV show, they have Indian like a competition of song, some kind of American Idol, right? Indian Idol. They do have it. So, and then who's the MC announcement, right? When they invite the what condition like that? So what do you call the who was sorry? Consistent, yeah, yeah. Okay. When they invite the consistent, they always make them joke. Okay, long hair come, fat people come, and then always sleeper, they come. Who is not washing, always they come. Then they happily comes and they sing it. They're not complaining that, oh, you told me that I'm bad and I'm fat. Why you told me that I always not taking shower, This is, they accept it as a fun, and when they accepted it, there's no suffering, there's no problem, right? So actually learn these things is it's good for us to having less suffering. Then we might find a spiritual teacher or a spiritual friend who can tell us exactly what my fault or what I did wrong or what suffering are, right? Otherwise, we have to escape to say these things because it get more like a frustrated or angry or upset with saying that and taking as a criticizing or right. That's the difficult for us. But here saying, yes, we must find teacher like this who tell us directly, and then say who reveal the norm of affirmations of rejections, right? Affirmations of rejection and rejection means like which part we need to engage or which things that we need to abandon, right? So regarding moral ethics, like say 10 non-virtuous actions, you should abandon it every moment, every time, or 10 virtuous actions, you should engage it, that kind of things. What we should engage it, what we shouldn't engage it, or what we should abandon things. So who can tell us this exactly? Not that so their way, which is more like a right and wrong, and then good and bad. Actually, they are not exactly one way to say it, right? So, but sometimes there is natural right and wrong, which is commonly can accept it, it's bad. Like say killing people. Maybe 90% might be accepted it bad in this world, right? It's majority. This is common, this is more secular, this is like a natural. So, and then as everyone accepted like a killing is bad, then you shouldn't kill, that kind of instruction, which talks to you the what we say, the moral ethics, but it's more associated with the natural things, right? The moral ethics could be the temporary that, there's some group, some country might be created some kind of new rule and regulations based on, situations, moment situations. They can be made it up, that kind of things temporarily, and then it can change. So that's not really called moral ethics. It's rule, yes, definitely. We should follow as a being more peace. Other will be having problem, right? But not really considered as a moral ethics. What do you think? Do you think like the temporary rule which we're making in group, in community, in country, so based on some situations,
Like what's going through my head is judgment.
Judgment, yeah.
Right. So I think that you're saying like moral ethics, but like to use your example of not killing. I think that most people would say not killing people, but killing an animal to eat, for instance, is judgment.
Yeah, right.
So with these things, or you're contested in India, say, hey, come person who hasn't showered, that's okay. But if you say that here, I think there's a judgment. It's like, well, there must be something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious, like that's what's going through my head as I'm interpreting it.
Okay. Yes, definitely. So we are not right to kill animal because I think who like to eat meat, they might say okay to kill it, but they might not say definitely should kill it. So, but anyhow, yeah, definitely it's included there. Not killing means animal and everything's included, right? So, and I think the majority accept that. Therefore, I think it's more natural. Not killing is the natural moral ethics, not lying as well, and then which is like a more like a look at the 10 non-virtues. Those are, I think, it's moral ethics, more natural. So, that we should those kind of things that we need to abandon, right, in our daily life. Beside the country rule and regulations, community rule and regulations, the spirituality way, I think there are many things that we need to, something that we need to engage in, something that we need to abandon it. So, but who can tell you that exactly, which is actually natural one? That's this we can consider as a spiritual teacher. So that's those teacher who can tell us those things, though how can be peaceful and how we free from suffering, what part I need to engage, what part I need to abandon, and also tell me directly what is my wrong and my the fault. That is that considered here as spiritual teacher. Therefore we say our enemy is a spiritual teacher who telling us directly what our fault, right? So they don't care you anger or not. They tell you directly, okay, you did this wrong. You are a bad person because this is your behavior and this is your thought. All this negativity, one by one, they point it and they tell us. On the one way, directly, definitely we have a bad emotions. That we will have a upset and angry. That's no question, right? But it's not holding that anger longer. Then we can think, oh yeah, some kind of I should accept it that what they tell is I should. This is good that I know now because they tell me. Now I can change it. So then that anger is not transformed into the resentment. Otherwise, our anger continues grow and grow up to resentment and then up to kill each other, right? So that not go that much. And if you continue to do this practice, even at the moment, might be not anger, because accepting it, as I said, like the Indian examples are, right? So yeah. Okay, so this is the one part thing, who are the spiritual teacher that we should rely on our daily life. And then next part actually more Buddhist refers to he who revealed the sublime dharma of going for refuge. Instead of sublime dharma, you can take as like here the right instruction, right? So who tell you the right instruction? Or we should also take refuge, or refuge means we should accept it or we follow it. Refuge means we following it, right? Something that right instruction, we should follow it. That's mean refuge. Refuge means not that you are under them and you listening everything for what they said. That's not mean really taking refuge. So taking refuge means one way said, we're looking protections. So the protection means we're following it, right? As will you follow, then it will protect you. Not follow, not protect it. So therefore, here the sublime dharma you can take as right instructions, and going refuge means you can take as you follow it. You should follow the right instructions. And then next say, and generating the mind of enlightenment. Again, so generating mind of enlightenment here refers to Buddha. Instead of that, you can say that enlightenment refers to compassion, right? So compassion and kindness, as we know, the source comes from more the religious part, but it's becoming more secular, right? Everyone accepting it. It's important. So therefore, here enlightenment mind you can take as a compassion or kindness. So who instructed you, who teach you to how to generate compassion and how to be a kindness person, right? Those the one characteristic of our spiritual master. And then whoever such a person may be, he is a spiritual friend. Whoever such a person is, whoever, doesn't matter the children's or like an adult, or doesn't matter like a high ranker or normal people, right? Or who has like a high position or low position, powerful or no powerful, doesn't matter. The person doesn't matter. Whoever talk to you these kind of things, right? How to generate compassion, how to be follow the perfect instructions. Those are you can consider as a spiritual master or spiritual teacher or spiritual friend, right? Do not judge by the person's ranking and positions. More, you can follow them or their instructions, and this is the instruction, right? So some high ranger and some high position might be not exactly perfectly instructed to you. Some normal people may be perfect instructed to you. Never know. It's not necessary that high ranger and high position always right to say you. Whatever they say is right. It's not necessary, right? So still they are human beings who have ignorance. Then it's not necessary. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, right? It's not necessary to be whatever they said is right. So therefore, more judged by their speech, verbal instructions, what exactly they're saying. And decision, of course, comes from your side, not let them decide to you what you should do, right? They tell you what is good and what is bad, how to do it. Then whether do or not do, whether engage or abandon, it's 100% up to all of us, right? Decision comes from our side, the conclusion. Okay. Then it says next, he who revealed the very opposite of the way taught by negative friends is the most excellent spiritual friends. So rely upon him and as an object of his respect.
You can't actually see the bottom part.
Oh, okay. Okay. Where is it? This comes now? Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so rely upon him. Not that one, right? Object of respect, right? It is. This one. Yeah, the way opposite. Okay. So kind of like now a breathing the regarding what kind of spiritual friends we should rely, right? So they say whoever who rely on the very opposite of the way taught by negative friends. What negative friends talk? Negative friends talks like sleep, hang around there, just be happy, or no need to follow the moral ethics, or no need to meditate, or don't need to be kind, don't have to be generate compassion. All those things negative friends said, right? The opposite is whatever they said, you can consider as spiritual master or spiritual friends. And then how about that? Forget about the external. We're talking about, right? So far we talked the external, right? But internal, there are so many our friends there, right? So anger says something sometime, and attachment will say something sometime, and desire or like a stingy might be say something, right? And then our ignorance maybe say something. We are very happily listening to it. So it's a negative negative friends or like a spiritual difference. That's been the thing, right? Because we are happily listen to it, what our mind said. And then our mind, most of the time, either our mind or our thought, most of the time associate with one of the mental afflictions, most of the time. And then if you listening it without examining, without contemplating, then it might be turn into the cause of suffering or maybe lead you the wrong path. Therefore, it could be the negative friends, right? So our inner, but we very much listen on it. So that that part we need more attentions. We know external who are the good and bad. because our eyes was looking here, not looking there. That's the problem, right? So, but we easily see who are the bad or good there. But here within my body, difficult to see who are bad, which is bad and which is like a right or good. So so one of our class, maybe last Thursday class, we're talking the Shantideva text. I said we do have a self-grasping, we do have a self-centeredness, and those kind of things, right? And some of them is kind of not accepting it. Maybe they don't know exactly what a self-centeredness. So I said, oh no, really, I don't really have a self-centeredness and self-grasping. So then my answer was, then you are lying. Because we not recognize, right? So yeah, we do have a lot of bad things within body, whether you accept or not. Is there, who causing to have us a lot of suffering, actually, isn't that? Then why we cannot consider that as the bad? Even we belongs it, I belongs that. It's my anger or my ignorance, my attachment, but it is bad. So it's not necessary whatever I have, it's good things, right? But we wish that whatever I have should have a good things and good quality. We wish, but it's not happening, right? But in real life, we do have so many negative things. Those are actually the more dangerous than external negative friends, which Shantideva said in his chapter 6, right? What he says, the external friend, you can be friend again. And once when you become a friend with the external friend, then they're not harms to you, right? But you cannot be friend with your internal enemies, never ever. Even you are accepting as my friend, they never stop to harms to you. This is the difference between external enemy and internal enemy. Shantideva said very clearly. And then another different is external enemy is sometimes there, sometimes not there. But internal enemy is every moment there with us, right? It's very beautiful, and we know that it is right, kind of right. But the problem is the engaging and understanding and following it at the moment, right? Because we keep forgetting or we keep distracted from some things. Once we get distracted, then we forget, oh yeah, inner enemy is always with me, right? So as we know that what Shantideva beautiful thing said it, and then that we reminded or like attention or mindfulness constantly, day or night. So while you're working, you have to think, oh yeah, my internal enemy is there, always there with me. My anger is there, and once it's manifested, and always suffering, right? So when it's not manifested, it's okay. When it's manifested, it's suffering. So and that is the more dangerous. And Shantideva continuously said, if you accept the hell realms, right? So an external enemy cannot bring you to the hell realms. But your internal enemy definitely you brings to the hell realms, right? This is very beautiful and very reasonable, right? So therefore, we should more consider to taking care or control our internal enemy, as after that we knows, and just knowing is not enough. After we accepting it, it's bad, then we try to control it. So then you don't have to worry about that external enemy. It will be like a change. once you change your inner, right? Yeah. Who I am, repeat this many times. You might hear this many times, but how much we move forward? Myself, little bit, not that much. I know that it's not that much move forward, but our try continues, right? So there's
like in my text as soon as I wake up, you know, I read some of this advice and then I find myself 2 hours later like doing it anyway.
oh yeah, that's all. I mean, because we're forgetting and distracted, yeah.
Okay. And then, you know, later in the day, I'm like, wow, I'm really doing a self-cherishing thing right now.
Yes, definitely. So because a lot of disturbing, there distraction and disturbing, forgetting, those are the things we not remembers, right? So therefore, mindfulness is very important. Mindfulness is very important. Okay. Okay, where we are in, okay. Whoever, right? It's whoever means don't judge by the person. It's okay. Judge by, follow more instruction. Doesn't matter who person is. That's the important part. Now, next he's saying, he who revealed the very opposite. This I'm done, right? In this done, okay. So next one, he who revealed the 6 perfections. Again, it's more considered Buddhist, associated with the 4 immeasurable thoughts through excellent, skillful means and wisdom. He is the spiritual friend. So rely upon him or her. This will have lasting benefit. Okay. So again, it's 6 perfections. Actually, the 6th perfection is the path for spirituality. But some point I see that could be the secular, right? What are that's generosity? You know, generosity is not necessarily that you should give some material things, right? So your time could be so that we're doing it's helping anyhow, and then everyone's seeking that kind of things. Who spend time for you, no matter they are believer or non-believer, they're happy, right? So that's kind of things is more secular, and then your smile, it's no cost anyhow, right? So it's not part of material, but it's still your smile is you giving part of generosity. Your time is part of generosity, or your calmness is also part of generosity because it's called giving them more happiness, right? So we can make them happy many different ways, not only the material that we should give it. So otherwise, in generally, generosity means in our mind some kind of food, medicine, money, that comes, right? These are, yes, once you give, it's part of generosity, but also there are so many things that you can generous without cost, which we have smile, time, anything, right? Yeah. So that's secular. And then moral ethics is, I think there are secular moral ethics there, right? And then the patience. The patient who don't need a patience, actually, right? Because no one needed to have anger. Because when anger is manifested, they feel suffering. That's no one needed. Then everyone, whether believer or non-believer or different sect or even like animal beings, need a patient, actually. They need a patient. So that's also part of that, a 6th perfection as wisdom and mindfulness, joyful effort, all these things. It can be connected with the both. This is the general here, the 6th perfection, right? It can lead you your life better, or it can lead you the enlightenment up to the Buddhist regarding Buddhist goal. It can be associated with the both, right? So therefore, it's not necessarily always connected to the enlightenment or Buddhahood. It could be connected with our peaceful life. So therefore, having peaceful life is needed. And who tell you these things? That's the saying. Okay. So those are spiritual teacher, and then say that this is the collection on the reliance upon a spiritual friend. Okay. So okay. I think the spiritual friend could be your book. The book could be, right? The from book we learn so many things, and then it inspires. It could be change us, right? And sometimes the recordings there, YouTube there is not necessarily in person or indirectly some kind of spiritual friends, right? So that could be. But the point here saying at the both negativity and spirituality, how to apply in our daily life to doing these things, then it's saying, that even you watch the TV, let's watch the negative things. That's one part of here talking, right? So stay away from it means something that like the bad influence brings you a lot of desire, increase your desires, increase your angers, some kind of that shows. It's not necessary you watch it, right? Still you can survive, no problem. So it is not the exactly with it is not the part of life. That means, right? It's not the part of life. So then if you want to stay away from that, it's not the only person. This is considered also TV show. And then sometimes the party, you should also consider that. Yeah, those things that you should stay away. And then if you really wants to watch it, and then instead of the negativity, the opposite one, you can watch it, which can really inspire you good things, compassion, moral ethics, those kind of things we can learn it, right? So, but still, even we do that, still we are in real life. We are not in different earth. We are in real life, but different way to do it, right? In this earth, surviving life means not necessary to do whatever someone doing it, and not necessary to everyone doing it, right? It could be you can be unique. It's very much depend on the path which you lead to the happy or not, actually. And then the path which you lead change you or not to better way. So that things could be the unique, because majority might be don't like to not talk about desire, not watch TV show about desire. Maybe majority don't like it, but you can be there. You can be unique, that part. That no problem. You are not the out of community, right? Your behavior is unique, but you are not out of community. So because this is the most that we worry. If I do something different, they might maybe kick me out from community, right? If I do something different, they might don't like it me. So I will feel loneliness. I will be alone. Yeah. So actually, if I talk the Buddhist practitioner, this is the best chance. This is the best opportunity to being alone. This is that they're looking actually, right? But we are worried that being alone. Therefore, so many things we are not following, which is good things, considering that I don't want to, look them me bad, right? So I have to look better in front of them, or be nice to them. Be nice means what they like, that I have to do. That could be the wrong, So the being lonely is actually one of the biggest suffering in here in West. But the being lonely is save your time, right? Being lonely means being alone. Save your time and save your energy. You have more independence, right? Whether you go out or not go out, it's just up to you. If you are a friend with you, if you are with a friend, you don't have 100% independence because you have to be good with a friend. The friend say go, even you don't like to, you have to go. They are more independent being alone than with the community and friends, right? So then why we think is the being alone is so suffering.
I think a lot of people don't like to be alone with their own thoughts, but I mean, I think that's a lot in the West though, because many people don't work on their own thoughts, like they'd rather be distracted, like.
Could be, yeah.
I've been like that, other points in my life, like I didn't want to deal with what was going on up here, so I would rather take the company of people, even if they were negative, because then I could just focus on anything other than what was up here.
Therefore talks a lot.
Huh?
Therefore people talks a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. So I will not mention the name. Last time someone called to invite us in a funeral, and they keep talking and a lot of questions which I cannot answer, and I don't have a patience to talk that much. So I passed it to Lobsang, shut up, shut up, that, shut up. Yeah, I passed to him, you are the better person to do this. Then I give him, that person called me the 10:30 a.m., right? Then that time I give him the phone. And he went downstairs and continues talking. And then it's the lunch time. So we cooked, and it's at 12:30 now. And I went there, still talking there. 10:30 to 12:30. Then he said, so, and I don't know. Yeah, that I really don't have a patience for that. But after he come, then we have a good conversations. They say, Rosachere, you have a good patience to talk these things. I don't have a patience. Then he's saying, actually, I do have it because I learned from Buddhists, Tibetan Buddhists, my teacher, and monks. Some kind of, he is putting me back. I learned from you guys, Then I said, yes, but I do have a patience for like 100-time answer for one. That's like a good question, right? So that I do, and then in a class, sometimes people forget, they ask question again, no problem to answer by that. But I give him example, right? People ask where I put this chocolate. I said, okay, put it table, and then put it, which side? And that side. And under or on, that's necessary to give answer for that? No, I don't have a passion for that. I can, until I have to go, put it the table, and which side, whatever you like it. Then again, I can enter inside or outside or top, on or under. I don't have a patience for that to say. So anyhow, this is just comes that conversation. People talks actually a lot. That's their habit. And this is another danger, right? This is another danger. How much you talk, that much negatives comes. Because sometimes comes without any intentions, and it hurts other, right? Even you don't have intentions to hurt other, but you like to talk, it's therefore it hurts. Not that you have intentions to hurt, or you like to talk and something comes there which they don't want to hear, it hurts. So therefore the best, less talk will be the good. And then being alone, I don't think it's a problem. It's a lot of benefit there. And it's also depend on what is your essence of life actually, right? So your essence of life is more conversations or just hanging this life hanging around here and there, temporary happiness, then nothing to say it, right? If your essence of life is something more beyond that, then being alone is better. You have a more opportunity and more chance. Do what you can do it. You know, if you want to meditate, you can meditate, right? If you were the community or friend, I don't think you can meditate. Even you meditate, they might think you ignore them, right? Or they might request you to go outside to disturb them. You're not really free to do, and we are losing a lot of our opportunity being with our company with others. It's a different issue, husband and wife. That's family. Family is different issue. I'm just talking generally. So the being other is a lot of losing our opportunity and independence, actually, right? So therefore, opposite the being alone is having more opportunity and more independence that you consider more peace instead of more suffering. Okay. Oh yeah. So okay, so that's that we finished up to the spiritual master. Do you have any further discussion, clarifications, or question?
Geshe, I have a question.
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
Can you hear? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So first I'd like to offer something I observed that I think is related to this idea of speaking. I've noticed there were a bunch of Saramay Gelugpa monks who came with Geshe Tashe Dorje one time to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in a room and we were talking with them, and suddenly one of them just became very quiet and just looked straight ahead. Just stopped talking and looked straight ahead. And later someone asked your friend Geshe Tashe Dorje, said, why did he do that? And Tashe Dorje said, oh, they are trained that if they have a negative thought, they just stop what they're doing and remove the negative thought. And I assume it must be what you're talking about here, and maybe the internal negative friend or something like that. I'm just wondering, have you heard of this practice, and what is that practice if it does exist? And I'm not sure I have explained this correctly. I might be remembering this wrong, but I'm just curious. Have you heard of this practice? And could you explain it to us a little bit if you have? If not, no problem.
I'm not clear. What kind of practice? You're asking how to overcome by those internal enemies or different?
I'm just that I witnessed some younger monks who had come to America in a room who were speaking in English. One of them just stopped talking and just looked straight ahead. And later I asked Tashe Dorje, why did he do that? And Tashe Dorje said, oh, he's trained to, as soon as a negative thought arises, he will stop what he's doing and just stop feeding that negative thought. And I assume that he might have meant something like what we're talking about here, the negative friend, internal negative friend or something. But it's a long time ago. I might not be remembering this correctly. But have you heard of this kind of practice?
I don't think this is the different type of practice.
You don't think it's a different type of practice? Okay.
As soon as I encounter a negative thought, I will stop and apply the antidote. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Yeah, this is not different practice. That's always we're saying that practice is like a concerning others or compassion or mindfulness, all those things, right? So once you have a mindful, you will realize you might cause other that can silence, or like the compassion is something that you almost saying some negative, then you can stop it. That you realize as a compassion, better not say it. It's hurt to others. Otherwise, they are not different. Mindfulness, I can say mindfulness is the from that, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was very interesting because it's unusual in Western society for people to stop talking in the middle of a sentence or in the middle of a conversation. But for these people, it's for these monks, Tibetan trained Gelugpa monks, it seemed like a very intentional practice that they were doing. And it seemed very powerful. I thought it was interesting.
I don't see we do have this kind of practice in our community and instructed by Buddhists. but it is related with all this compassion, mindfulness, all this practice. As we do this practice, this is one of the behaviors to stop, and then so instead of stopping, we can switch it, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
there are many techniques. As you
Yeah.
have a wisdom, there are many techniques. So then instead of as I try to say it again, instead of the stop silence, we can switch the topic in a nice way. Then don't ask what kind of this practice then. It is
Yeah.
skillful.
Yeah, very, very skillful. Yeah, no, it's very interesting. It's very related
Yeah.
to what you were just teaching about. If we say nothing, we have less likelihood of harming, even unintentionally, harming the mind stream of others. And I often wonder too, just talking at all is filling someone else's mind with whatever it is that you find you wish to talk about. Maybe they would be doing something else with that mind if we didn't interrupt their mind. So that's another way to sort of
Yeah.
regard this. It's interesting.
So yeah, actually, the I'm teaching means here the text book, and then my master, our masters, all this are saying that I repeating here, not really that I teach everything that I do, right? So, but kind of like a sometimes says messenger or something like that, right? So yes, I'm just carrying the message from textbook and then other masters. Beside that, try not talk because I'm not sure what right or wrong path. So this is the how I do. Therefore, yeah, whatever. This usually I encourage you all, right? So everything you hear, the new things, definitely you should ask them, what is the source of this? Right? What's the source of text? What's the source of lineage Islam? Or you just made it up? It's could be very dangerous that you could made it up some beautiful things based on your skillful wisdom. That things could be associated with a value tax, maybe not. If not associated with value tax, then it could be danger. So therefore, for me here, I try not talk anything from my own self. But I try and here say everything based on text and my teacher's instruction. Therefore, I just make further clarification because you say you teach. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone? Any further question? Okay, then I'm going to move next. So now, still that chapter 11, we finished, it has the 4 line, the root text has a 4 line, 2 lines which finish, which is stay out from negativity and to rely on spiritual, the spiritual friends. So now here root text says, discard hostile and unhappy mental states and venture forth to where happiness lies. So that's discuss the hostile and unhappy mental state. So then again is associated with both the spiritual like environments and our inner things, right? So let me read here. Excellent Dromje, principal son. Now Adisha talking, called the Dromtemba, excellent Dromje, principal son, his son, the Adisha son. Listen to me. Those who have entered the erroneous path of extreme views are greedy, hostile toward the Buddha's teaching. They are hostile toward the community that uphold the teachings. Such persons are, what's it? Certainly. Do you see that? Oh, sorry. The better this this one, right? Certainly, yeah, certainly. So certainly sources of unhappiness. Okay. I'm going to read more next line. Since feeling of unhappiness arise from them, discard hostile and unhappy mental state and depart to the place devoid of them. So where we can find this kind of place where no erroneous path of extreme views, no greedy, right? Can we find this kind of place in this earth? So it's talking your individual life, right? It's your individual life to spend for some kind of practice, or you want to more devoted to become a better practitioner. So then stay away. Again, it's not talks the negativity friends, which cause you to have anger, which cause you have unhappy, whatever, include the places that you should stay out from it. There's a saying. I'm giving here example of views, right? Who criticize the Buddha's teaching and those and those. This is the example, you know, who criticize whatever, right? So if you found this kind of places where have always negative thought, negative thought and negative actions, then it says depart to the place devoted to them, devote of them. So find the better not the place that we not have that. So maybe I'm going to continue to read it. There might be more clear the what is the devoted like the place we devoted them, right? Saying the morality degenerate are hostile toward discipline. Pledge breakers are hostile toward corrective rates, right? For the ethically disciplined and pledge bound, it is better to discard hostile and unhappy mental state and depart to the place of happiness. And then those who are filled with the greed cannot tolerate. The fortunate ones who engage in the four men's others out of jealousy, they relate to them with the hostile and forsake hostile, and then objects depart to them place of harmony. Okay. Here, okay. Okay, the basically saying here, wherever you, the place or community you're finding that affect you have more anger and makes you unhappy, then you cannot be continuous practice at the same place. Better change the saying, right? So that's my question, where we can find that where I can be unhappy and who is not causing me have anger.
Alone. Like you said, by yourself.
Yeah, but you have to go to grocery shopping, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to go to laundry or so many things. What happened? I think here, consider as a monastery, saying everyone become a monks and nuns. I'm just kidding. It's considered monastery. They think the monastery everyone's a practitioner, right? It's not necessary you should become a monk or nuns. I'm just kidding. So they think that that better place because everywhere you can see the practitioner and calm mind or good moral ethics, or like a meditator or good inspirer, you know, that's considered the good place that we saying it. But the regarding Shantideva and Lamrim, if I talk based on that, then actually difficult to find the place to who's not affect to us have anger, right? So better if you go to the cave, then different issue. That's could be that, right? That could be. As well as you are in a community, that's very difficult, right? So if you want to continue stay in a community and then while you're staying there, you need to overcome by those anger and unhappy things. Just control our inner those exact. This is all the choice, only the choice that we can do. The control our inner enemy. That's the one. So and then once you control your anger, then nothing apathic. Whoever said bad thing to you, you're not having anger, or who like look at bad to you, you're not having anger. Then the bad things, bad doing, bad actions, it's not really affected to us because we control our own anger, right? This is the, I think, the main point. If we could do it, or it's doable, but sometimes it takes time to get there, or like sometimes even not get the 100%, some degree of amount you get that more patience, or reduce your anger. It's good. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm going to finish this chapter today here. Okay. Now the last part. Uh-huh.
What the four means together.
Oh, I see. It's the it is part of how to gathering disciple, right? So it says giving what the necessary things. That's one, right? And that we Tibetans say koa chimba. Koa chimba means what they necessary that you give it to make friend and close. That's one way to gathering. And then talk nicely, sweetly. This is the one way to gathering together, being close to each other. And we say hoa chimba nyembar mam. Dön tuba means talks the meaningful things, right? So instead of idle gossip. So talks meaningful things that will gathering better. And then it's not just talks meaningful things to others. You should engage whatever you're talking. You should practice. That's the four things. Give, say nice things and meaningful things, and ourselves should engage. That's four. It's clear? Engage on whatever you're saying to others. You should engage that same practice. Yeah. So not just empty word. You fill up your mind. This is the thing, yeah. Okay. So other things not necessary to talk here, the part important here. Okay, so we done the chapter, it's chapter 11, right? So from next, we're going to start from next chapter. Okay, any question again? Well, you can
yes.
General question. Oh, yeah, go ahead, please.
I have one question, Geshe. What is the word in Tibetan you use for a negative friend? Is it the word evil, or is it the word what word is it for negative friend? When you say in English negative friend,
We say digbe drogbo.
can you say that slowly?
Digba is kind of like a sin or negative. The Christian word to use the sin, right?
Yeah.
S-I-N. That's digba. Or translate maybe negative, right? And then tropo means friend.
How do you say tropo? Tropo?
Dropo. D-R-O-K-P-O.
Oh, thank you very much.
How do you recommend friend and surrounding yourself with the spiritual friends and teachers? So I don't have a separately recommendations to which talks here, or who are the negative friends, who are the spiritual friends. But still I can say something. When earlier I quoted from one of the Kadamba Master's talks. It says you should be friend with a more who have a faith instead of like a scholar, right? And also say you be friend with the more the practicing instead of talking too much, right? Or let me remember. So also said you should be there are 4 or 5 things. That's I very much think it's authentic, or I very much like that instruction to being friend with, right? So and within that, as I say, the stay with the who have a more faith instead of a scholar. So that's interesting and very I think reasonable to that. Yeah. Okay. If I found this line again, and then I will bring you to next class. Say it again. Oh yeah. Any other?
You have a few minutes after, so I can ask like a practice
Yeah,
question.
we do it. I do. We are online. Do you have more class? A question? Please go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
How we, if we have people in our lives who are clearly, have problems, and you can tell that they're very much, have afflictions.
Yeah.
To the extreme sometimes. How if we're kind of just getting started ourselves, what do you suggest? How we could help them without setting them off on the wrong path.
So our action is the best teaching to them. Instead of verbal. Verbally could be not listening, they're not listening, or they don't want to listen it. Or action can be see and they feel it. That's the best way to teach. So therefore, is the being challenged, it's very challengeable that who are negativity in family group. It's very challenging. We cannot stay out from there, right? We have to be together. And then if really wants to inspire and change to them, our behaviors, our daily action is the best teaching to them. It's silently, quietly, or don't act that I'm showing you this kind of acting, right? Just normal act it, right? So not let them notice that you are saying something. People have an ego, right? Who are listening to me? So if you not act that you're showing something, then silently they will notice it. And then 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and there's the way to change it. This is our hope. This is a good hope. Yeah. Sometimes we say we are being monk, right? And then stay away from all family, even our parents. That we can say our parents are evil, negative friends. Therefore, I stay away from them. It's depend on which way, right? So actually, sometimes say the parents are evil friends, right? But it means not that parents are unkind. What they're kind is always kind. They're irresistible, right? So no one can change what they're kind. But their action, temporary action, their speech, their instruction temporarily, that could be wrong because human being. That could be turned into the evil, right? Consider that, then you say evil. Because the parents don't want to let children go away from them. They want to hold it, right? Because they are self-centeredness. They're not considered children life. That could be turned into the evil. The holding is, right? So anyhow, holding could be good, holding could be changed evil, but if it's turned into the evil, then at that time, parent become an evil. Not always, right? So Okay. Interesting. Because no one said that I hear many people saying that my parents is evil, you know. My mother is my worst enemy in my life. My father is my worst enemy in my life. I heard that. Anyhow, okay. So that's it.
Geshe,
Uh-huh.
could you just mention our event Friday night, our social that's coming up this Friday night for people to come and bring potluck and socialize in person?
Maybe you can announce it, Laura, because it seems they've frozen.
They're frozen.
Laura, can you hear me? Chappelle.
Yeah, we can hear you. It says the connection is bad though.
Okay, you can announce what really exactly. I don't know what she said.
Laura said that I don't know the details, but she said that there's a social gathering on
Ah, I see. When is it?
Friday, apparently.
This Friday?
Apparently, yes. Laura, can you say more about it? What time it is, etc.?
I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
It's still finding out, but it's like a potluck dinner. Like I think it says 4:30 for about 4:30. And it's like, you know, you bring a dish, like, and I don't know, I don't have internet here either, but.
Oh, okay. Maybe I encourage you to look at our web page. So they might 5:30 to 8. Okay.
Oh, hold on. I have it here. Just a second.
Okay. So yeah, that's idea actually comes from a few years ago. The community, the people here looking community, and some people wants to just gathering there. And then we think, yes, we give them this kind of opportunity. This is one way to overcome by suffering, right? It's not always teaching or not always meditation. So gathering and hanging around, this is one part of overcome by suffering. So therefore, why not we created this kind of space at DNKL to welcome you to, and then openly you talk, not fight, no alcohol. So you bring, or you can do Dharma talk, or you hang around, just spend time with them, each other. This is good to knowing each other, and same time they can share their own the knowledge each other, or you can talk general things, right? So I don't think they will talk here. We'll talk the politic things. So politic things talking then is people will leave. So general like life things, and then general things knowledge, right? So that's how we started. We think, and you all welcome, and then bring the SS potluck, and you can participate whatever you bring. And we start with the one time in a month, and it's just people more happy and more like to do it, and then we can do it 2 times in a month. We'll see. Yeah. Okay.
So the timing on this is from 5:30 to 8 o'clock, and it says please register online. And I'm sure that you don't need to be there right at 5:30. I'm sure you're welcome to come, anytime. But I think for attendance and purposes, please register if you can.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Geshe.
Yeah.